it just was the right opportunity. And it's a great law firm. It's one of the top 10 in the country, and it's just one of those decisions that's hard to say no to when the offer came across the table. So.
Were you soliciting jobs?
No. I went out. This was more of I went out with a couple friends who work at that firm. One of them worked at that firm. We were just back and forth joking. He said, Simo, when what's your next step? And I said, I don't know. I said, but if you make me an offer, sort of just joking with them. And then the next day they called and said, hey, send us over some resume and see what you like. All right. Never thought it was going to happen. And then got the call last week, sort of confirming it all up. And made the mistake of showing my wife the offer before I could make a decision. It was all done at that point. Been full-time in McDermott in their government affairs, their government affairs division. So I'll be doing defense work, probably labor work as well as the government side.
People are going to ask you, are you doing this because of what's going on with the probation department?
No, there's nothing to do with that. This was in the works. Obviously, if you read the indictment that came down, there was no mention of any Essex County people, so no, there's nothing to do with that.
Your wife's name was mentioned in the Globe Spotlight series. You were mentioned in the Globe Spotlight series.
Yeah, but it was mentioned in terms of, we were mentioned in terms of in the appendix of the report, never mentioned.
Well, a lot of people were mentioned in the appendix.
but a lot of people were mentioned in the actual report. And I think, as I said before, we did everything appropriately, and I think the fact that you saw the indictment come out Friday, no mention of anybody in Essex County, no mention of any concerns up this way, I think shows that we did it and we did it the right way. About the next chapter in my life. And in terms of, I always said this, and you might recall this saying, sitting around here when I first ran, if I'm here 10 years from now, I'm in trouble. And it's 10 years. It's always been my goal to stay, 10 years and to begin to start living. I'm not going to sort of say, I'm out of politics forever, but this is an opportunity that it was just an opportunity I never expected, and it's a preeminent law firm, and it's the right decision for me personally in terms of the next chapter in my life. I've done, I was in the law, sort of in the AG's office even prior to that. Sort of moved on to the Senate seat, and this is it's sort of a step up. It's a nice transition, and it's a great challenge. It's a great opportunity. We have good legislators in the Merrimack Valley who continue to fight hard for the priorities up this way. And obviously, listen, it's changed, but that's what it's about. Someone will step in and they'll fill the shoes and they'll move forward with this, hopefully a similar agenda, if not a different agenda. But that's what the people decide. I had it was a great experience to do it. Again, this was tough. This was not an easy decision, and because I love the job, I like doing it. It's fun at it. I love the give and take. I enjoy sort of not only the local side, but the Boston, sort of the politics of getting things done. So this was a tough decision. I want to be part of it, continue to be part of it, and sort of work with whoever replaces me, and to continue. I'm not going to sort of walk away from this altogether. I still want to be engaged, in sort of politics in the Merrimack Valley and sort of the region. So I'm not walking away completely from it. But the Senate race needs to be the Senate race. It needs to be about the individuals running, not about sort of me and the issues. But I'm hoping that some of those issues carry on.
So with this chapter, you keep mentioning chapters, what's your legacy of this chapter?
The legacy?
Yeah.
I guess that's a good question. I didn't expect that. I hope it's, look, when I first ran, I talked about being independent, about, not worrying about the sort of who proposes an issue, that if it was right, I remember using this, and I remember saying, if it's a Republican issue or a Democratic issue, it doesn't matter. If it's right for the Valley, then I'm going to support it, and I did that. I think I proved that you can be bipartisan and still be part of the leadership of the Democratic Party, that it's really about the issues, not about necessarily the sort of who's sponsoring it. If you look at the reforms that I was involved with, transportation, sort of working families issues, sort of balance. I hope that one of the people look back and say, I fought for a level playing field. And whether that meant in transportation, on the sort of public sector side, protecting the taxpayer. I'm proud of the fact I didn't vote. I kept my word. I looked at that editorial. I have it on the back of my desk at the State House. It talked about, and it reminded me, because it was a good, it was on the money. It talked about being independent, standing up to leadership when they were wrong, and fighting for the issues that we talked about at the time, working families, education, and protecting sort of the taxpayer wallet. And I think I've done that. What won't I miss? A lot of it's the weekend. Weekends. It'll be nice to actually to be at a parade. I thought of this morning. it'll be nice to actually sit at a parade and wave to people walking by, as opposed to waving to my kids as I walk by. So, you know, that's going to be a nice one, to sort of sit back and enjoy the weekend.
Well, you can think that, Senator.
Well, hopefully you're right. I do more than think that. I think, you know, the response I'm getting today from people has been good.
So people must be asking you who you think is going to run.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting those, I got those calls this morning. I think you'll see, I mean, I think, you know, obviously you have the mayor, you have Mayor Ferentini, Thatcher Keyser, Mayor Keyser from Amesbury, Bill Nancy, Jim
Sean
Jr.
Fowler just pulled papers.
Sean Fountain spoke. I'm not even out yet. He's like, I'm going to call him next. Who else? Who else? I mean, you know, who knows? I mean, I'm sure there'll be others. And you know, the seat hasn't. It's been 10 years. It's. I'd encourage people to look at it. It's a great opportunity. And you know, you can make a difference. You really can, and that's what it's about.